Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks, and I'm back in one of my favorite cities in Spain, the city of Bilbao. Going to have a walk around the city, check out some of the main sites, and see why this is one of the best cities in the country of Spain. So let's go. Now in 2019, I came to this city with my family, and basically I was blown away. I fell in love with this city, everything that this city has to offer. There's many things that this city does have to offer. I'm going to go through those today. But basically, I'm back to see if I was right. Now, over the last few years, I've been traveling around Spain. I've gone to lots of different cities. Cities in the south of the country, cities in the west of the country, cities in the north of the country, cities in the east of the country, and I'm going to see if this city still stacks up with what I've seen in those other cities here in Spain, and I'm going to be honest, I reckon it does. And one of the reasons why Bilbao does stand out compared to other cities in this country is because of the architecture. Everywhere you go, especially in the central part of the city, the architecture is unbelievable. In fact, you can walk along streets like this and never get tired of the views because, as I said before, they are unbelievable. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what Bilbao was like before the transformation, before they put buildings like this one in this city. Of course, that's the Guggenheim Museum, an absolute standout. But I have spoken to people from this city, and they tell me that life in Bilbao before the transformation was fairly dismal. It was a grey city, it was a dull city, and it didn't have much going for it except for the fact that you could easily get a job here. People from other parts of Spain came to Bilbao looking for work because basically in their part of the country there wasn't any work available. But as we know, the world's economy changes fairly quickly. Industries that were necessary 60 or 70 years ago are no longer necessary, and lots of cities in the world had to change. And Bilbao was not the only industrial city in Spain that had to change. Other cities in Spain also had to find a way to survive, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, they haven't done it as well as this city here. Now, I'm going to come up with 4 or 5, maybe 6 reasons why this is the best city in Spain. Of course, it's my opinion only. You can give your opinion in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. And the first reason I've already spoke about, of course, and it's the architecture. Buildings like this, modern buildings like this, blend in very well with the rest of the city. And that's something that a lot of cities here in Spain haven't got right. But again, just my opinion. You have to take your hat off to the architects and the urban planners that have transformed both sides of this river. Wow. But of course it does help when you have such magnificent natural surroundings, as you can see in the background there. Now, another thing I love about Bilbao, and it's also a definite pro, is the amount of parks in this city. You've got big parks, you've got small parks, and the parks are clean, they're well kept, and you can see that the local council here takes cleanliness seriously, unlike a lot of town halls around Spain. Council workers are driving around in small vans all day, every day in this city, keeping the place clean. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to live in a clean city, right? And another thing is that people, when they take their dogs out for a walk, like these people behind me, actually pick up after their dogs. You do not see any dog excrement on the pavement or on the grass here, unlike where I live on the outskirts of Madrid, which is absolutely covered in dog. But that's also got to do with the education level and the cultural level of the people that live here. And I reckon it's quite high. And I think also that when you provide a clean environment, you encourage people to keep the environment clean. And I think that's what's going on here. And I think I've hit the mark with that comment on education levels in this city, because I found this article here, as you can see, and it says that Bilbao, the 5th ranked European city with the highest educational level, according to Europe's Best Cities 2024 report. So there we go, it's all about education. Another example of how architecture has transformed Bilbao. Now, another standout for me about this city is the amount of people using bikes to get from A to B, and that's something that you don't see in a lot of Spanish cities or towns. In fact, in the majority of Spain, the only time you'll see people riding bikes is at weekends, but here that is not the case. Now, I don't know why people haven't taken to the bike in other Spanish cities. Maybe it's because they're lazy, maybe there are some other reasons, but here, as I said, that is not the case. You see young people riding bikes going about their day-to-day, you see middle-aged people riding bikes going about their day-to-day, old people riding bikes getting from A to B, thin people, people that are a bit overweight, so lots of people riding bikes here, and that is good to see. It probably helps that Bilbao is a relatively flat city, but I've been to other flat cities here in Spain and I haven't seen that many people on bikes, so Bilbao stands out for that. Now, the public transport system in this city is probably the best or second best public transport system that I have seen in Spain. Maybe Vitoria has a better public transport system, I don't know, but in Bilbao the public transport system is fantastic. They've got a tram service that runs around the city, and they've managed to get that tram service off the ground, unlike some other cities that I've seen that haven't managed to get a tram service running. For example, Jaén. I went to Jaén about 2 months ago and was disappointed by the fact that they have everything set up for a tram, but the trams don't run because apparently there's no money. But here in Bilbao, that is not the case. There is money and the tram system works. So fantastic if you want to get around and get from A to B in this city. And that's another one of the reasons why the quality of life in this city is so high compared to a city like Jaén, where they can't get public transport systems up and running. It's a shame. But not only is there a tram system here, there's a light rail system, there's a metro, and also a fantastic bus system. It's unbelievable. Even the dogs here in Bilbao are enjoying life. Now, if you are a football fan, this city will not disappoint. The new stadium behind me, the new San Mamés Stadium, and this year the club has had some success by winning the Spanish Kings Cup. So for football fans, Bilbao, a great city. Now, when it comes to food and drink, Bilbao, as you guys know, is a standout city. In fact, one of the best cities in Spain when it comes to eating and drinking. Not only because of the pinchos culture, which of course everywhere you go you have these fantastic pinchos. You have sandwiches like this as well, available in every bar. And one thing that I love about the food and drink culture in this city is that it's very, very relaxed, very informal, and very, very easy to do. And what I mean by that is that you walk into bars and restaurants and all of the food is up on the counter. So you just choose what you want, the person behind the bar gives the plate to you, you go and sit down or they bring it over to you. So very, very relaxed, informal eating and drinking culture in this city. Something that I love. And the service is also very good in these bars and restaurants, and it's fast. And that is an absolute pro. And unfortunately, sometimes in other cities in Spain, you don't get the best service. And when it comes to getting around on foot here in Bilbao, also very, very good. The sidewalks or the footpaths, as we can see, are wide. They're also clean. You don't have to be constantly looking down at the ground like you do in other cities here in Spain to see if you're going to step in something nasty. That's not an issue, or at least it's not an issue in this part of the city. So walking here in Bilbao, an absolute treat. The pavement well maintained, not full of holes and cracks, so not dangerous from that point of view. So another thing that Bilbao has going for it, getting around on foot in this city. Great. Now, another thing I love about this city is that the locals love to get out and about to experience life outdoors. Yesterday, Monday evening, I went for a walk around 7:30, 8 p.m. and a lot of the bars and restaurants in the city were heaving on a Monday night, and you don't see that in every city here in Spain. Perhaps the weather had something to do with it, I've got no idea, but people do seem to get out and about frequently and enjoy everything that this city has to offer. It's a city that has been redesigned with pedestrians in mind, unlike so many other cities in Spain where car is king and basically pedestrians have been forgotten. But here, that is not the case. It's an absolute pleasure to get around this city on foot. Unbelievable. Now, there's been a lot of talk in recent times about 15-minute cities. A lot of people think that 15-minute cities are a good idea. Some people think that 15-minute cities are a bad idea because they think it will restrict their freedoms. I don't think that that's the case, and I reckon that Bilbao is almost, if it's not already, the perfect 15-minute city because everything you need seems to be within 15 minutes of where you are. So if you want to get an idea of what a 15-minute city looks like, check this one out. So I'm going to start to wrap this video from Bilbao up, and I'm going to be honest, this is a city that seems to outdo itself every time I come here. Every time I come here, it seems to be better than the time before. It may sound strange, but it seems to be more people-friendly now than it was 5 years ago. Amazing. The city just seems to get better. I don't know what they've got going on here in Bilbao, but other cities in Spain could learn from this example. I've been to some of the biggest cities in Galicia, Vigo, Pontevedra, A Coruña, but compared to this city here, Bilbao, nothing in comparison. Are those cities that I mentioned good cities? Yes, they are, but they're not as good as this one for some reason. So as I said, a lot of other cities here in Spain could learn from the Bilbao example, clean themselves up and make life more comfortable for their citizens. But again, that's just my opinion. So if you're looking for a city to live in here in Spain, you have to check this one out. Now, one thing that I forgot to speak about, and I'll throw it in right here at the end, is the security aspect. Now, Bilbao, from what I've seen in the times that I have been here, is a safe city. Lots of people are going to say in the comment section that is not true. Bilbao is not safe. There is crime here, of course. But from what I've seen, personal experience, it is a safe city. And what I will say also is that there is a big police presence keeping the streets safe. So another pro. Now, I also know what some people are going to say. Stuart, you haven't thrown any negative aspects in. Well, the idea today is just to compare this city with other cities here in Spain. Sure, there are some negative features of this city. For example, the cost of living here, very expensive city. Locals are being priced out. I just spoke to a young guy here that lives in Finland, and he said that basically he can't afford to live in this city. The area that he grew up in, very expensive, so that's one of the big problems. But what he did say is that this is a city that keeps people here. All of his friends still live here. They want to live here, so that's positive. But let's be honest, every city has its pros, every city has its cons, but I reckon that here in Bilbao, the pros outweigh the cons. But again, just my opinion. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, please, the comment section is the place for you. Give me your opinion on Bilbao, what you think of the city, whether you live here or if you have come here as a tourist. I'd love to hear your opinion on Bilbao. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego, agur from Bilbao.